what I call stealth attack. I'm on. Good. Go!
They may be a little, but they're still bonefish.
Hello everybody, I'm Andy Mill. As popular as saltwater fly fishing has become, it's almost impossible to find an area where you're truly alone, where there are not only happy, calm fish, but tranquility on the water, without other boats and pressure from the masses. Where the Water Cays in South Andros is in another world, a world where your soul is soothed, the bonefish are friendly, and the quietness is extremely loud.
The Water Cays are a series of uninhabited islands lying about 60 miles southwest of the nearest civilization. Reaching this pristine bonefish paradise by boat takes several hours, but Float Plan Adventures out of West Palm Beach, Florida has changed all that, and now even the most remote reaches are just minutes away by air. Enjoying the tranquility of the family islands doesn't have to mean roughing it. At Grassy Key Lodge on Andros, visiting anglers can look forward to being pampered in rustic Caribbean comfort, and they'll quickly discover that life in the out islands is worlds apart from the fast-paced casino action and neon nightlife in popular Bahamian tourist destinations like Nassau and Paradise Island. Here, each day dawns at its own languid pace, and the local inhabitants, like this curly-tailed Bahamian lizard, wouldn't have it any other way. This is the real Caribbean, where succulent papaya trees grow wild, kissed by the cooling trade winds that keep the temperature between 62 and 80 degrees year-round, and the natives are wonderful hosts.
They say flipping a bait caster relieves the anxiety of a skier, but it's not working.
I'm joined on this trip by my friend John Glorieux, a well-known South Florida light tackle guide who introduced me to the Water Cays several months earlier. John spends so much time working at fishing, he rarely has time to fish just for fun. So this time, he's not here to guide, but to enjoy the day as my guest and share our friendship. Besides, when you're fishing unfamiliar waters, there's no substitute for local knowledge, and few guides know more about this remote area than Frankie Nemore. For more than 20 years, Frankie has fished these flats, and I quickly learned that our shared passion for the stunning beauty and peaceful solitude of the Water Cays would forge a special bond. En route to the flats, we stopped to explore one of the Bahamas' deepest mysteries, the blue holes.
This is wild stuff. These blue holes, Cousteau was here doing a show about them about 20 years ago, and he said that all these holes within these islands, within the systems, are all intertwined. They were putting dye in the holes and flying helicopters over and watching the dye come out of other holes. And they actually thought at one point that this cavern system was larger than Carlsbad Caverns in New Mexico.
How many of these do you have around here?
There's about 150 of them. Some fresh and some saltwater.
Really, freshwater?
Yes.
And you catch any fish out of these?
Yes, there are barjacks and jackwhales and sharks, and occasionally you'll see a turtle come up.
Yeah, we saw one of those as we pulled up.
How deep are these?
Well, they go down for about some 1,000 feet, but they all connected. They go down so far and they turn.
Now you were worried yesterday about running over some of these holes. You just pulling our leg, or you telling me that they'll actually suck somebody down?
The depth and how they're built, they just cut straight down. And, you know, it looks scary.
Okay. Is there any kind of a myth to these things? They're bad luck or anything?
No, people just afraid of them because of the sharks. They said they have big hammerheads in them, and they're just afraid of them. They don't know where the hell they go.
So you mean I couldn't pay you enough to go diving in here?
Oh, definitely not.
They're beautiful. You just see these big monster blue holes out here.
Looks like the current's running against the wind, too.
No bonefish in here, huh?
As we continue on our way, John decides he wants to try waiting for sharks and barracuda on fly,
Yeah, sharky, sharky, sharky.
while Frankie and I are going to concentrate on bonefish.
This is one of the best tide now to fish, though. Low income.
Rising, though, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. I like them when they get their backs out of the water and they just, scrubbing their belly.
Yeah. Real shallow water.
Looks like there's some larger fish on the right corner.
If they hit those fish before you, they may spook.
Yeah, they're hauling ass, aren't they? It's a good fish right there. Come on, eat it. He ate it. Sweetness! How often do you throw a fly?
Not very often, but
You-
on my time off,
You like to cast?
we will try it. You got it.
Sweetness! Frank, it's your turn. Show me how the maestro does it.
I get to make a fool out of myself.
For some reason, I don't think that's going to be the case. All right, I'll spot the fish for you, Frank. Okay? Come on, Bubba. Let's go. Right here, straight ahead. See that pod right there?
Yeah.
I'm going to be your wily guide. You need to be on this side?
With me, you better stay on this side.
On the left side?
Yeah.
Okay. Frank, what does this do to your heart when you're wading the flats with a fly rod in your hand?
Oh, it keeps you pumping. I think this fishing the flats, wading with a fly, it adds about 5 years to your life a day.
It's pretty soothing, isn't it?
Oh yeah. There's nothing around but you and the fish, the fly rod. It's out of this world.
Are you worried about these flats becoming overpopulated?
Oh, definitely. That's why we intend to put regulations against too many boats fishing these flats.
But in the same breath as you say that, obviously that's the income that you all need for your livelihood.
Yes, but we got to protect it also.
Yeah, very important.
From being overfished, too many engines running, so we're going to do more wading than fishing from boats anyhow.
Well, one thing I don't see over here, like you see a lot in the Keys, are all these motor scars across the flats. I mean, what you see out here is, for the most part, pretty virgin territory.
Oh, definitely. The only boats that you would see out here are the boats from the camp, and we used about, the most we would use is 6 boats. That we don't go any higher than 6 boats. And we stop at least 100 feet from each flat, or about 100 yards from each flat,
Wade in.
and wade in.
While Frankie and I continue our search for bonefish, John has found a flat with some lemon sharks. The incredible agility of these shallow water predators is evident as we watch this lemon chase down a free-swimming bonefish in less than a foot of water. Bonefish are legendary for their blazing speed, yet sometimes even they are no match for a hungry lemon. They're not normally aggressive to waders, but the sight of all those fins swimming nearby can be a little unnerving. They have poor eyesight and have to feed by vibration and sense of smell. So they can be finicky feeders on fly.
Look at this. Here we got an aggressive one.
Working a popper in shallow water and occasionally slapping the water with the rod tip proved just the ticket for tempting the smaller 15 to 20 pound lemons on this flat to feed.
Ah, beautiful. I love these lemon sharks. Oh, pulled out.
A mistake many novices make when fishing for sharks is setting the hook too quickly before the fish actually has time to firmly grasp the fly. Sharks eat by overswimming a fly, so once the fly disappears beneath their head, wait a moment, then strike.
My lemon shark. Great fish on the flat. Wild how they roll up. They'll do that, try to wrap that line up, bite it off.
The remoteness of it and the unaccessibility is what makes this place so special, I think.
Oh yeah. This camp, or this particular camp, is like about 60 miles from the nearest civilized settlement we have here.
Is it hard to remove yourself from civilization and come here and spend a length of time?
Definitely not. A person like me, if you're into bone fishing or just out life, this would be the place to come. You know, because what you want to do is get away from people and anything, from every other thing. This is the place. There's nothing here. Yep, that's a school.
You see him?
Uh-huh. Now I get to be the fool.
No.
Is this bobblers?
No.
I gotta be careful.
Where'd those critters go? They saw that one group go out here a little bit. Let me bring in my radar. It's my fish radar.
I saw one moving.
Bonefish,
They
come
all
on.
seem to be moving away from us.
Bonefish, come on. Can they feel us?
A couple of them.
You think? When we see these fish turn around, are they feeling the pressure of us walking or anything?
I don't think so. I think what they're trying to do is they're going to keep swimming around until they can get in the creek. They're not going to settle down.
As we walked and talked, I couldn't help but think how many people would be a little envious of Frankie because he has a life money can't buy. Not only does he live in a tropical paradise, but he makes his living doing exactly what he loves doing best.
On the outside here. See, I really hope Frank can catch a fish. I'm hoping because you know, if he can get a fish, then I get my rod back and I can fish. Come on, Frank, baby. Come on, baby.
Don't come too close behind me now.
Oh, big school out there, Frank. You just think you're downwind. Yo, baby. fly on there, Frankie? You hear that snap? That's what I call a real sportsman.
Holy,
When you fish with not only a barbless hook, but without a fly.
when did I lose that?
Give me 5.
When selecting a fly, it's critical to not only match the hatch, but also choose a color appropriate for the bottom conditions. In this case, a pink shrimp pattern.
And the next time you start snapping the fly in the rod like that, remember the man in the circus? He's got a whistle. You got to whistle
gotta
when you
whip.
snap. You got to whistle. You know, start cracking it, cracking that whip. Jump on that fly, you guys. It's tough with this wind. See that right side? Ah, yes. Good job.
Yep.
Good job. Oh, good. I'm so happy for you.
Woo! Oh yeah. Now I know what it feels like.
now you remember.
Yeah.
Look at that school of bonefish. There's got to be 100 in there. You know, on both sides, maybe even more. Sweetness.
Seems like I'm moving away from them.
Yes, it's cool, yeah. Yeah, that little pink fly did it.
Yeah, but they love that.
A little bit smaller, nice and pink. That other fish ate and fell off.
Yeah. God, I'm not embarrassed.
You shouldn't be, are you? Good job.
Ah, yes.
Good job.
No.
There it is, that pink fly that did the trick. Frankie, we're both happy. You caught a fish and I get my rod back.
Nice. It's breaking.
When Frankie and I met up with John again, he's got his hands full fighting a hefty Cuda that emptied more than half the line off of his reel on its first scorching run.
A quite large one.
How big is that fish?
I don't know. If I had to take a guess, I'd probably 15, 18, somewhere in there. But I mean, he's halfway down on my backing right now. I mean, when he ate that fly, the first time he ate it, he came from behind and grabbed it. And then the second time, absolutely hurtled himself half out of the water to eat that fly. The fly hit the water. I popped it one time, and I think he was so pissed off that it was still swimming.
You kind of wonder if Barracuda were put on this planet with a brain. You pull on their face, they fall off, and then they jump back on the hook again. It's like, you want to really die?
When you're that big, that mean, and you've got teeth about that long, you don't need a brain. I think he just swims and eats. Big school of bonefish on the point.
Yeah, coming in. I'm going to go catch one of these bonefish.
All right. Well, by the time you're done doing that, I should have had this guy close.
The only thing wrong with this whole deal is that fish should be on my rod.
Not likely, Andy, but he's 300 yards away, 250 yards away.
Shows you how lazy you are. You don't even go after him.
I'm not going after him because I know how big he was, and I'm sure he's got family in the area.
You have another Cuda fly?
Sure. I think they're about $40 here. Frank gets quite a premium for them.
Yep. It's the only shop in this part of town.
See, that's why I didn't go chasing after him. I know he had family in the area.
Bone. Bone, bro.
All right, you got bait for my fish.
Have you got some fly line back?
I'm not on my line yet.
Wow, that's a nice fish. Frank, what are you going to do with this thing?
I'm gonna have him for dinner.
You going to smoke him or just like grill him?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good one, huh?
Yeah.
How big is that?
I think I hit him
Look at
pretty
the
close on
teeth
the
on
nose.
that thing.
15, 18 pounds.
No wonder they like bonefish. I want to see this. Wow,
Right
sweet.
there. Okay, Frank,
Sweet.
get the fly.
See those teeth.
That's why he can do whatever he wants. That's why he doesn't need a brain.
He's the king of the flat.
You know why
Don't
this
take
is
it out
so?
yet. Don't take it out yet.
You know why it's so apropos that you catch this fish? Smile. Because you guys look like each other.
Thank you. Oh, what are you scared of? He bent the tip of my fly.
Look at the teeth on that thing.
In the States, big Cudas are rarely eaten because of the danger of ciguatera, a nerve toxin that sometimes accumulates in their flesh. But in the islands, they're still considered a delicacy by the natives. I came to the Water Cays seeking solitude, but serendipity allowed me to find something far more valuable, a new friend. Although Frankie and I come from two vastly different worlds, our common interest quickly built a bridge over which our lives briefly traveled side by side this day, before once again taking separate paths. The footsteps we left behind in the powdered sugar sands will quickly wash away with the next rising tide, but the memories etched in my mind will endure forever. Each time I visit this little piece of heaven on earth called the Bahamas, I find it increasingly harder to return to what we call civilization. While for Frankie, paradise is home, and each day's dawn a new adventure.